Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, coming to this particular video, I'm trying to discuss about some facts about the process of identifying a trade and getting into a trade on right time in these kind of markets. Like for example, this market today on say 19th May, 18th May 2022. The market was so very clearly downward from the very beginning in the morning. Okay, so how to identify your trade, what's the position where you should get in. Okay, so these kind of things I'm going to discuss in this particular video. Okay, so let's start with I'll start with examples. I have kept here three examples: HD, that is Home Depot, MSFT, Microsoft, and Apple. Okay, the one that I'm trying to discuss over here may or may not apply on index or ETFs like SPY, Nasdaq, Dow Jones. Okay, so better to keep it stock specific. Okay, so let's start with Home Depot and going into the process of identifying a trade. So the first step of the trade, identifying your trade, starts with after the close of, say suppose you are planning for a trade tomorrow. Okay, so you have to do some little bit of homework today, at least some time before the next open, means before the market opens to tomorrow. I have to do a little bit of analysis. Okay, then we have to give some time to the morning, what's happening with the futures, how the market is going to open. Okay, so this kind of a view. Okay, and then we have to let the market take its direction within the first 45 minutes. Within the first 45 minutes, it's highly recommended to all the retail investors, don't get into any trade for the first 45 minutes. Okay, that starts from say 9:30 in the morning Eastern till 10:15 Eastern. Okay, so between this period, try not avoid getting into any trade. Yeah, of course, if you have some position that you have seen that swinged on the previous day, you can close it, but avoid getting into any trades. Okay, so now what I have to do when the market is closed, I have to plan for tomorrow. Okay, so the first planning step is to identify the levels. Okay, where, at what level I have to place my order. Okay, at what level I have to enter a trade. This is the very main question that everyone has. Okay, so you can pick, first of all, a good successful trader doesn't look into uh, all the stocks throughout the market. There are millions. Okay, just keep like a small watch list, 15, 20, that's it. Okay, like my watch list, if you can see, that's all I have. That should be around 25 to 30 stocks. Okay, so now I'm coming back to the Home Depot. Market is closed. Okay, I will put my chart into day candles, means each candle represents a day. Okay, that gives me a view of like last 3 to 4 months. So for example, if you see here, February, March, April, and it's mid of May, so 3.5 months I can see on this chart over here, just on the same page. This is tradingview.com. You have free chart available there. You can also join the premier membership if you want. Okay, so talking about Home Depot, first of all, we'll see with the daily chart, with the daily candle charts, what has the stock been doing in last couple of months. Okay, so if we see here, initially this was the level, like the high was over here, somewhere here, and the low was somewhere here. So not this, actually the low was here. Somehow on some bad day the stock would have opened here, but the low where every time it bounced, it used to bounce, was over here. It bounced over here, it bounced over here. Okay, and the high was here. So this is the first level. Then again, for the next level, it was step down. It came one step down. So now this became the resistance. If you see, 315 was the resistance level, and the support was over here. So suppose 299, 298 actually, 298 point something. So this was your support. Okay. Now again, if you see, the market moved to the next duration, and the next level is even further lower. You are having lower bottoms. So now the bottom is here. It's having support at 281 and making a high resistance of 299. Yeah, on yesterday, that was 17th of May, it did go higher, but it could not sustain. So we'll still assume that the resistance was still at 298, 299 actually. So 299 is my resistance. Okay, so let me put my levels over here. So let's see, this is my level line and this is my support line. Okay, so 281 point something is my support, 299 is my resistance. I have identified it in a day chart. Okay, now second thing that you must notice in the same chart is you should keep an indicator, that is EMA, that is exponential moving average. Okay, uh, there are a lot of free values, free indicators given in TradingView. You can use any one of them, and then you put it to a value of 10 or 11. Anything is fine. For example, if you go here, I have set the first length is 11, I have put the second length is 30, and the third length is 100. Okay, if you want to view, I am just viewing the first one, that's the 10 EMA. Okay, 11 EMA, and the remaining two I have removed it from the checkbox so that it's not visible on my chart. Okay, if you just see a bare look at this particular EMA line, if you see that, you can very easily and very clearly see that the 10 EMA has been coming down throughout the period, throughout the time period of last 3 months. The 10 EMA has been coming down. Okay, so, and also we have also seen that the stock is step by step, like this was my earlier level, then this became my next level, now the current level is here. Step by step the stock is trying to move downward, level to level. Okay, level 1 was higher, level 2 is lower, and the level 3 is lowest. Level 3, we are in level 3 now, so it is lowest. So very clearly the stock is bearish. Okay, that is, we have identified on day candles. Okay, and we have also, so we are very clear that we are going to short this trade, short this particular stock, or we are going to take puts. Okay, we are not looking for any call options, call opportunities, or going long on this particular stock. Okay, we will wait for that long, unless at least for a couple of days it holds above this level. I have marked my level at 299. At least couple of days it should hold above this level, so that we can assume that now the stock is going to be going upward, and then we can take a upward call. Okay, but that did not happen. Even though it went higher to 310, it came down on the same day and it broke the level below 299. Okay, now from day chart I will move my chart to 2-hour chart. Okay, so that we will have more intermediate levels, okay, where we can enter or exit. So now if I see my 2-hour chart, just a bare look, I have to see my trades within these two lines. If you see, okay, so this line, the upper line is clear resistance. It was a support for the previous level. It was a support earlier, now it is a resistance. Okay, so the point is, whenever it goes near this particular price, 299, 297 to 299, I am I'll keep this stock HD at the top of my watch list, so that I'm watching it like every hour. Okay, that is the first thing. Okay, when it reaches near around my resistance level. Okay, uh, Now with intermediate levels, what I'm seeing over here is, if you see the candles, like for example this particular red candle that you see over here, it opened at 307 and it closed at 293, and then there were some green candles that came back upward again. Okay, so I will mark this level, this particular level itself. I'll mark 294, 293 around. Okay, so I marked this level 293, 294 around. So the next thing what I'm going to look is when the stock is below this, like this was kind of a support on a 2-hour chart, intermediate small support, although the green candles could not take the price above this red candle, so I'm still bearish. But uh, what I'm seeing, the story that I can frame is, there were green candles at 294 on Home Depot. Okay, so I will be very careful at 294 on Home Depot. I will let the stock go below 294 and remain below 294 for at least 1 hour. At least 1 hour, if it remains below 294, then I will start thinking of my trade for a put below 294. So this is my next level. Okay, I have to plan to take trade below 294 if the stock remains below 294. Now we are just going to remove this particular line and this particular line, like the support and resistance which we have thought of, which we have identified in the day chart. Okay, now from 2-hour chart I will directly move to 5-minute or 3-minute candles. I would prefer for all the beginners or all the new people who are checking the charts. I will recommend 5 minutes for them. Okay, I'll just move to 5-minute chart directly. Now you see that the candles are very small. I'll just increase the size. Okay, now I will go on our date. So this is my start date for today, that is 18th of May. Okay, on 18th of May, if you see over here, this is the line which I drew. 294 was the level which I wanted the stock to breach and remain below it for at least 1 hour. Okay, so if you see here, from 9:30 to 10:30 it was below 294. It never went up. Okay, even though it touched once again it touched, but it never went above that price. Okay, if you clearly observe in this 5-minute chart, why I'm choosing this 5-minute and why I'm choosing this EMA 10, if you see this very clearly, on every bounce, on every small bounce or intermediate bounce, it touches this line, or maybe cross little bit higher than that over here if you see, and then again it follows the regular trend the stock is having. Okay, so if you see here, it is touching this line and again it is following the regular trend of falling down, means going downward. Again it went up with a little bit push and it touched this line, again it kept going down. Went here, again it touched, went little bit higher but could not sustain. I am not going into any calls, because from the day chart and the 2-hour chart I have already made up my mind that I am not going on long for Home Depot. I'm not going long for Home Depot on any scenario. Okay, I will be going short only. Okay, unless it stays above 299 for a couple of days. That is my condition. Okay, so if it is going high, I don't have to see it. Okay, so where we have to enter? So first 45 minutes you have to let. So this is my 45 minutes. I am seeing that the stock is still following its trend. I don't see any upward movement. In the first 45 minutes, it made whatever high it made once. It made a high of, say, over here around 295. It made a high of 295 point something, 295.3, and it never went above that. So that's my high of the day. in the first 45 minutes the high of the day. So you can assume that this high of the day, this is my final stop loss. The sometimes when I share my trades I call a word hard stop. So this is my hard stop. 295.47 is my hard stop, because that is the high of the day. That is my hard stop if I'm going short on Home Depot, or if I'm buying puts for Home Depot. Okay, the HD stock. Now I'm here at 10:15. Okay, I have already seen that I'm planning to go downward. When I will enter, I will enter the trade when there is a slight pull upward and the stock touches this particular line. So that is happening over here. If you see at 291, the stock is touching the line, but again be little bit careful, don't buy it at, so if you see the price over here that is displaying is 291.56. okay, so 291 point something 291.5 is my that point where the that particular candle touched the 10 EMA or 11 EMA line. Okay, I know that it's going to go downward still, but I will give little bit time, or I would say like give it like 40 cents or 50 cents below this particular line. So 50 cents below this line means 291. As soon as the Home Depot stock goes below 291, I will enter my puts. Okay, so on the very next candle, if you see here, on the very next candle it is 290.86. I have entered my trade over here. Okay, okay, I have entered my trades anything below 291. I have entered my puts over here. Okay, I have already defined my stop loss. Now my stop loss is, I will remove this particular line. This was the entry line. Entry line means the stock should be below 294 for me to enter the puts. That was the condition we have derived from 2-hour chart. I will remove that particular line. Okay, now you can see only two lines. One is the where we have entered the trade, and the other one is my hard stop. That's my hard stop. Okay, I'm not going to wait more than this particular price. Okay, that is around $4 from here. Okay, so for options you have to give some space. Okay, it's not like there is no magic that you enter into a trade and very next within next 5 minutes you will make a profit. It's not guaranteed, or it's not assured. Okay, you have to give some time. So let's give, this is my identified stop loss. Okay, now and this is a quite a big space, so you don't need to even watch every minute. Okay, if it goes below above that, it can go, a news can come and it can go. So yeah, you are out of the trade. Whatever loss happened. Okay, we'll look forward to next trade. Okay. Now over here we have entered 291. Okay, it did make a green candle again, but again there is nothing to worry about. Again this guy touched the 10 EMA line, and again it is down in the next one. Okay, so you don't need to worry. Okay, now you see that the trade is moving in the direction you want, or in your direction. You have got a put, or you have short, you have done a short on Home Depot. It's moving downward, it's moving in your direction, so let it move unless you see a first small 5-minute candle. So it's moved till here. This is 286.88. okay, I can book my profit over here, or I'll just give, okay, now this green candle, it closed at 287.27. That's it, you can book your profit over here. Okay, this is the first point where you can book your profit. If you have multiple contracts, if you have, say, suppose 3 contracts, book the profit of 2 contracts over here and leave 1 contract at lower risk. Means you have some money for, if it goes bad, you have some money and time to exit that particular trade. Again, if you see, it again came up, touched the EMA line, 10 EMA line, and again it is going downward. Again, if you see, the trend continued till here, until you see a green candle. So this green candle was closing at 285.79. Again, you have an exit over here. Better to exit. I always say better to exit at some these kind of levels. So just exit your trade over here. Okay. Now the day was like that it went lower and lower and lower, and it went till 281.43, but I would exit all my position on the second chance that I get. Okay, so I would recommend to exit all your put positions at 285.66. okay, so this was how you the process, how you identify your trade, what is the homework you do before the market opens, means after the close of previous day, or before the market opens. Then morning you just view what is happening, what is going to happen, a kind of overview. You just check the futures, you check some news and all this. Okay, then you let the market settle for 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, go to 2-hour chart, find out the intermediate levels above which you should enter, means below which you should enter your puts, or above which you should enter your calls. Okay, so identify those positions. Now move to 5-minute chart, and then when you see that position, that point has reached where you are ready to enter your trade. Okay, at that point just wait for the stock to touch the 10 EMA line. Once it touches the 10 EMA line, give little bit space that again it falls below 10 EMA line, say by 40 to 50 cents. When it is down below that, enter your trade for puts. I am talking this in terms of puts. In terms of call, if the stock is going higher, if, like for example, I will just go back in some time. You can see over here the stock was going higher. Okay, suppose I didn't do that research for this particular example, but for suppose this line, the line that I'm displaying over here, that is 295.5 line, above that I have to enter my calls. Okay, so this guy, it went above this over here. I am ready to enter my calls, but I will enter when it falls and it touches this line. So this line is touching over here. I will give some more space, means it should go 50 cents above this line. So it is touching this line at 294.64. I'll give 50 cents above this line. So now it is at 295.34. I will enter my calls at here at 295.34. okay, 295.34. I'll just leave it for some time. Okay, after 15 minutes again it is going down, but again it touched the 10 EMA, but it kept going higher. Okay, so this is my place where I see here 298. Now I got a small red candle. I will exit. Small red, the closing of that small red candle is 297.78. I will exit my trade. I entered at 295.35. I sold my option at 297.7. Handsome profit. Very good. If you have multiple contracts, sell most of them, hold only one. Again, because again it will go higher, it can push back, touch this line, again it can go higher. So next higher is over here, 299.13. Again I got the next red candle, that was 298.81. I will do the full exit. That's it, done. Okay, the day was like that. It might go higher, but that's fine. Okay, for since see, the place from where I have learned my all these kind of charting, trading and all these things, that the person who explained me, he said that there is a fight going on between the bulls and the bears. Okay, we as a retail traders, we don't have to win the fight. Okay, it's not that we enter over here and we can make all the profit come and we can take full profit over here. No, enter over here, just keep taking profit. Or if you have one contract, make yourself safe. If you get a chance to enter over here, exit over here. Like this is the safe place, exit. Okay, you are getting into red candles from here. Why to take risk? Just exit. You entered, say suppose at 291, you got an exit 295, 296. You have made a handsome money on your call options. Okay. So you just enter that fight between the bulls and the bear. Give couple of a strong punch. Whoever you enter it from the winning side, the side who is winning. Okay, you do not know the end results. Even though bulls are winning currently, you don't know the end result. What will happen at the end of the day? Okay, so you enter from the winning side. The bulls are winning. Currently, the bulls are winning. I get into the ring. I will give couple of punches to the bear. Okay, I'll make some points. I'll take some profit. I'll come out of the ring. Okay, if you are a trader, it's very known that to watch the market outside without having any position is the best way. To sit on cash and watch the market is the best thing you can ever do. Okay, it gives you more fun than otherwise if you are into some position. Okay? So for beginners, I am telling you, you don't have to win all the way from here till here. Take intermediate profit and exit best. Okay, now I'll do a quick review of other stocks like MSFT. I'll see here. So MSFT, if I see the 10 EMA line, it's clearly falling. If you see the levels also, so in this region, this was my level 314 till 275, but currently my levels have changed. In recent, say suppose from 11th of April, the levels have changed. The resistance is at 291, and the previous support was at 271, which was breached. 271 support was broken. Now the MSFT stock is below 271, so the previous support is now the resistance. Okay, so 271 is now currently the resistance. These are all day candles. Each candle represents a day. Okay, so whenever it goes above 271, I am alert. I just want to check into some bearish positions. Okay, so here I will first create my levels. So this is my resistance and this is somewhere my support. Okay, so my resistance and support are ready. Now I go into a 2-hour chart to find the intermediate levels. If you see the intermediate levels, like again this particular level has been again another resistance. Okay, it was very hard for the stock to cross above this particular line. Okay, if you see here, it went again, it fell again. There is a strong green candle. It went quite above that green candle, but again it fell. Okay, again it went above, but it could not sustain. So my current intermediate level is at 263 around. Okay, 262.6, 263 around. Okay, I haven't identified it. Now that I know my resistance and support on the daily chart, I will remove this. Just note it on a piece of paper. Okay, that this is my resistance, this 252 is my support, 271 is my resistance for Microsoft. Now this is the line below which I have to 262.7 is the place where I have to look for puts. Now I'll directly go into 5-minute chart and increase the length of these candles. What happens today? So this is my 18th of May. Okay, the stock opened above 262.7, but it could not stay below it. It could not stay above it. It went below and below and below. So 10:15, what is my place? My place is here. I'm at 261. I will give it a chance for the stock to touch the 10 EMA line on 5-minute candles. So you see here, it's almost touching the line. So the line is at 261.7, 261.8 around. So where I will enter my trade? I'll enter my trade 50 cents below it, 261.3. When it goes below 260, So on the very next candle, if you see that it is at 260.71, let me enter my trade here, 261.71. okay, and yeah, I forgot one thing. What was my resistance? Again, I'm back to 2-hour chart. So uh, my stop loss, so you see here the green candle started coming from here. So let me just keep a stop loss, that's a kind of a hard stop at so 264. okay, I mean I'm back to that 5-minute candles. Okay, so I have to enter below this. I did enter at 260.7. okay, this is the line where I have entered. I'll let the stock run. okay, it went, kept sideways, now it started running in the direction I want. It ran till here, 257.54. again the next green candle it made, 257.68. I'll exit. That's it. 257 point something 8. I will exit. So I entered at 260.7. I sold at 257.8. That is approx $3 on the stock. So $3 means 3 into delta for the option. So that's the profit I have booked. I will just come out of the ring. Okay. Now same thing I'll just validate with say Apple. Okay. Now I'm on daily chart. You can clearly see that Apple has been falling from the recent time, that was on say from 5th April onwards. It's falling. Okay, and you see all these candles, even the day candles are below the 10 EMA. okay, so the stock is falling. The stock is falling means we have to go into puts. okay, in recent times I don't see any support level for Apple. okay, if you see, if you calculate, say suppose this was my previous support 155, it was broken. If you think that this is my current support 144, it's broken. okay, so there is no support at all, just my resistance. I'll keep the first resistance is over here, 171. then the second resistance is over here, like this guy, 165. okay, so first resistance doesn't make any sense. So this is my resistance point. okay, now I'll move to 2-hour chart. I'll find out the intermediate levels. So the intermediate levels is, again, this is my resistance. okay, and this is my support. This guy over here, you can see that this is my support. okay, I'll remove this particular line since I have drawn a lower resistance and support. Currently 150 is my resistance and 140 is my support. okay, so I have to okay, now these are all 2-hour candles. okay, so if you see this particular day, like these 4 candles, you can see that this has been a support for that day, 147. okay, that was the previous day, 17th of May. That was a support of 147. okay, so below 147 I'm going to enter my trade for puts. okay, I'll remove this support line. I'll remove this support line. Now these two lines that I have, 147, below 147 I have to enter my puts, and this is my stop loss at 149. okay, I'll directly move on to 5-minute chart. I'll increase the size of the candles. I'll go to date 18th. okay, I have opened, the stock has opened below my level. My level is at 147.5. it has opened below it. okay, very good. I'll wait for 45 minutes. It's still below the 10 EMA. okay, it's already below this line, so I'm good to enter at right 10:15 itself, but I'll give it a chance to at least come closer to the EMA line. So if you see that in this particular candle at 10:25, it's almost closer to the line. Like this candle made a high of 146, I can read over here. okay, and the EMA line was 146.36. the candle made a high of 146.15 and the EMA is 146.36, so it's almost very close. Okay, so I have to enter my trade around 40 to 50 cents below the EMA part. EMA part is 146.36. 50 cents below it means you will be entering at around 145.85. Okay, so the very next candle 145.85, it went over here and I have entered. So I have entered my trade at 145.8 something over here. I'll let it go. It came down to 144.98. Then it tried again touching the EMA line. I have nothing to worry about. My stop loss is fixed. My stop loss is clearly over here. You can consider this line also a stop loss if it is having quite a difference. Okay, or you can consider a stop loss of if the stock breaks the high of the day, you can consider that as a stop loss. So it's the best stop loss you can think of if the stock breaks the high of the day. So this line itself, 147.5 itself is the high of the day. If it goes above it, that's my stop loss. There is nothing to worry about over here. Even though it made some green candles, it did not even ever cross above the 10 EMA line. You are very safe, nothing to worry about. Okay, you can start worrying about it when it goes above this EMA line, when you keep your stop loss on your system. Okay, and if you see here, it gave you a move in the direction you want, in the direction of your puts. It came around to 143.40 and then it made a green candle 143.74. I'm out of this particular trade at 143.8. Suppose 143.8. I entered at 145.75, exit at 143.75. Okay, so that is a $2 on Apple. Apple stock will have a little bit higher value of delta, so you are good on that front. Since the delta value is good, for a $2 move you will get a decent profit. Okay, I hope this video is going to help you with the process of identifying your trade and having a plan. Okay, so always in morning have a plan when you come into the market. Okay, or else what will happen is sometimes the kangaroo markets are there, it's going up and down. Sometimes the market is going down and down and down and you never got a chance to enter. That's what happened for me today. Okay, I did have my levels. Okay, but for some reason I was busy at that particular time. Then if you miss this part, if you miss to enter at this level which you have identified, if you miss to enter again, it will be, you will feel very difficult to enter the trade at 144. Then again you will feel difficult to enter the trade at 143.53. okay, so always better to enter your trade in the first instance. Okay, when you, as per your plan, you already have a plan. You have entered your trade at nearly 10:30 a.m. Eastern. You have entered your trade and you will just wait for profit. These kind of days where you have a decent move in one direction, you are going to make a lot of profit. Okay, if you have multiple contracts, sell all and keep one with like you have some profit in the background, so even if you lose some, you still end your day in profit. Like, have such a strategy. Okay, don't worry about small profit and small losses. Okay, always worry about your account. I always see my account. I get worried when my account is down on a day by say 1%, 2%. I'm worried on those days. A small loss like $35 loss, I don't worry about that. Okay, it's fine. And yeah, for all beginners, I would suggest take one contract, or if you see that the day is going to be clearly in one direction and that is the direction you want for your stock, or that is the direction you have identified, so on those days you can take two contracts. That's it. Don't go too many contracts. Okay, Like for example, yesterday, that was 17th of May, the market was bullish, but I have identified the trend to be trend in HD, NSFT and Apple to be bearish. I will not trade on those days. I will not trade these three stocks on those days. I'll trade something else which might have a up moving 10 EMA. Like for example, I had an up moving 10 EMA on AMD, a recent 10 I'll switch to say day candles, and I'll switch to AMD. You can see that it's bit of up moving EMA. Okay, so avoid taking puts for AMD currently. Okay, although on a level wise it's down only, but in the recent like last 10 days it's trying to move upward. Even on the RSI it's clearly that it's trying to move upward. Okay, so don't trade AMD for puts. Okay, either trade it for calls or don't trade it. So I have tried to explain the full process of and yeah, these all things don't take so much time. 15 minutes is enough. You just spare 15 minutes for planning for tomorrow, and then when you come into the market next day after like 40 minutes, it's like 5 to 10 minutes of work. You can see each of your stocks, like 10 stocks, and you can identify the point where you want to enter. Okay, and always a stop loss. If you are on call, keep the stop loss as the lowest of that stock on that day for the first 45 minutes. Okay, if you are on puts, mark the highest point of that particular stock in the first 45 minutes. That is your hard stop for puts. Okay, so for example, yeah, let me go to 15-minute chart so that I have not too many candles. So this is 18th. In the first three candles, it made 103 as a high, 103.4 as a high, and it made a low of 99. Okay, so if I'm 99.7, so if I'm in a call, 99.7 is my stop loss for call. If I'm in a put, my stop loss is 103.5. Okay, I cannot tell you the premium of the options for stop loss and all those. You have to calculate based on your delta and theta. Okay, but on the stock level, you can identify this as your stop loss. So in very rare videos you will get that anyone is telling about what is the exact stop loss. Okay, so here I am giving you a clear indicator as like a hard stop. If you are a person who books quick losses or quick gains, then you can trade it with your comfort, with your knowledge you have acquired. But if you're trying to wait on an option for some time, mark the highest point and the lowest point of that particular stock for the first 45 minutes and consider those two spots as your stop loss respectively. Okay. For calls, the lower point is your stop loss. For puts, the highest point of the first 45 minutes is your stop loss. Okay, so yeah, that's all I had to explain in this video. Let me know how you like it. If you like the video, please click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. And yeah, thank you. Wish you a great trading, have lots of profit, and meet again. Let me know how you feel about this video in the comments. Thank you. Good day.